Good morning to some of you. This is an honor on behalf of UCAN that you joined us today for this final event of UCAN Open Fora 2021. And today we would like to put our next year's conference into the focus, and this you can just see in the projected page that we plan to go to Budapest, and this is an honor for UCAN that the Central European University will host next year's conference. And we have decided to put a very challenging topic into the focus: university lifelong learning today and tomorrow, transforming higher education institutions for quality and inclusive knowledge transfer. For this very purpose, may I ask Matyas SZABO on behalf of Central European University to greet you and to put some thoughts into this dialogue to open up our planning for next year's event as European Conference. It's 52nd in the row, UCAN's annual conference. Matyas, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Balázs. Good afternoon, everybody, and respectively good morning, because I could see that we also have someone from the US, from Florida. So good afternoon and good morning to all of you. Thank you very much, Balázs and Carme and everyone at eucen for inviting me to talk a little bit about hosting the conference in 2022, June, as between 8th and 10th, that these are the dates of the conference. But before I start sharing with you the website of the conference, which is already up and running, let me tell you that we were supposed to, as you all know, we were supposed to host the annual eucen conference already back in 2020, and then suddenly the COVID pandemic intervened. And so we are basically back to where we ended the conversation with Balázs and with eucen in 2020. And again, we are planning to have it face-to-face in Budapest. Much of the preparations for the 2020 conference were already prepared in terms of the registration platform. So we are recycling, in a way, some of the things that we have started in 2020. Now, just a little bit about our university. If from no other place than probably from Balázs, you have heard about Central European University, as he is also a graduate of one of our programs. So we started the cooperation with Balázs many years ago, and because the Central European University has several programs that are to be labeled lifelong learning programs, such as for instance, the summer university courses that we offer. We also have professional development courses for faculty members. We have professional development hub now in Vienna. So it was, in a way, quite logical that sooner or later CEU is going to host an eucen conference because of our commitment to lifelong learning issues and adult education as well. The university was until recently fully located in Budapest, but due to the political situation in the country, which I will not describe or enter into details, we were forced to take our teaching programs out of the country, and all the teaching has moved now to a temporary campus in Vienna. Temporary in the sense that it's a former bank building, and we hope very much that from 2025 we will be able to move into a wonderful new campus that is currently being planned and developed in Vienna. In 2020, when we were supposed to host the conference, obviously the university was fully in Budapest. And the good news is that despite the fact that all the teaching has moved to Vienna, We still have our campus, a wonderful new campus that was built for the purposes of our university and has received many different architecture and sustainability and other awards for the design. I see someone saying that it's a wonderful campus in Vienna. I think whoever wrote that probably is talking about the new one that we are going to move in 2020, the Otto Wagner. So anyway, in Budapest, we have a wonderful campus, and the 2022 EUcen conference, the 52nd, will be hosted in Budapest. So, and we believe that you will not be disappointed that that we decided to host the conference not in Vienna but in Budapest, because I'm sure those of you who have been in Budapest, you would appreciate the choice of having the conference in our wonderful city, and our university is very centrally located. So. Before and after the sessions, you will be able to see the very center, the historic center of Budapest. Just a few words about the university. So we are a social science and humanities university. Until recently, we were a fully graduate school, meaning that we only had master's and PhD programs. Recently, in the Vienna campus, we have introduced 3 interdisciplinary BA programs. And we still have in our campus some activities, some non-teaching activities. We organize their conferences, summer schools, professional development courses, and also we are renting out the premises of the university in Budapest. And we have a newly founded Democracy Institute that is hosting researchers and is organizing conferences, and that is what is kind of the biggest institutional unit that remained behind in Budapest. So the buildings are not totally empty. The fact that there are no students around, it actually means that there is more and more adult learning and professional development going on, and research going on in the Budapest campus. Now let me share you my screen, and would like to show you the old new web page. So the design of the web page remained the same for those of you who remember how the EUcen 2020 website looked like. But it is already filled with new data. Among other things, you see that we already have a preliminary program which is in the making. So almost every week there are changes in the program, and the reason I'm pointing that out is because some of the keynote speakers in the meantime have confirmed their participation. So the to be confirmed element will be deleted very soon from the program. So as you can see, we start on the 8th of June, Wednesday, with a keynote address and opening addresses, official welcomes from the CU. That will be in the afternoon, and those will be the highlights of the day, with a wine reception that we organized to welcome you all in our campus. And then the first full day will be 9th of June. We already have 2 of the keynote speakers confirmed. As you can see here, keynote 1 and 2, Dr. Matyas from Washington University and Mr. Raul Valdez-Cortera from UNESCO have already confirmed. So that to be confirmed, it's no longer valid there. And we are currently having negotiations for the third keynote speakers. For the third keynote speaker. There will be also a panel discussion on the very first day, just before lunch, keys to university lifelong learning for increased participation, performance, and partnership. And then, as you can see, in the second day, we will have the panel sessions in 3 different tracks. You can see here the titles of the 3 tracks. The first one is University Lifelong Learning in Urban Environments to Enhance Learning Communities. The second one, the Universities Promoting Lifelong Learning through Skills Development and Effective Human Resource Development. And last but not least, the third one, Universities' Roles in Enhancing Sustainable Environment and Social Inclusion through Lifelong Learning. On Friday, it will be a closed meeting for the EU members only, as General Assembly. And after the poster session and open discussions, there will be the final keynote by Dr. Katarina Popovic from the University of Belgrade. That is also confirmed already. And then, just as I'm doing it right now, we will close the conference with a presentation of the 53rd one. And I think this is not to be decided, but it's already decided that the 53rd one is going to be in Utrecht, Netherlands. And then for those participants who stay for the afternoon, we will organize a guided tour in Budapest city center. So this is more or less the preliminary program, which very likely will not change much because, as you can see, most of the keynote speakers are already confirmed and identified. And the registration is already open, so it is possible to register already, even to pay the registration fee, although I would probably say that, of course, no payment is going to be lost, even if we have to quickly decide to go back to an online conference, which we do hope that is not going to be the case. We will not survive another cancellation of a wonderful face-to-face conference. So we will definitely push for all of you to come to Budapest and have it face-to-face. But those who would like to pay already in 2021 and get the invoice, it's already possible to register and to pay for the participation. I don't know if there are any questions, or before that, Balázs, if you would like to add anything to what I said already. And thank you for listening to this short presentation, and please let me know if you have any questions after Balázs's contribution.
Thank you very much, Matyas. I think it was a very detailed overview of the program. If we can stay over there, can you please share the program itself, Matyas? If you
Sure.
might just stay for a while, and if we just return back to the program. I think it is necessary to relate to the realities that Europe is just right in the middle of for its higher education to relate to this challenging aspect of lifelong learning. And we just try to integrate it into our dialogue as how we think about role of universities in the context of not just university lifelong learning, but how to develop organizational contexts in order to raise for better qualities. And for this very reason, I think it is something necessary that when we will turn into the working day of the conference for Thursday, those keynotes we plan with will provide a good opportunity. Can you please just roll down this Matyas to Thursday to the morning? This is something important that we just try to involve IAU, the International Association of Universities, because together with UNESCO, it has been very much important to address some key issues of a recent survey on university lifelong learning. And I think the consequence is that we just try to address that it is UCAN, which is the major research body on the changing roles and functions of learning with, learning at, and learning through higher education for different reasons. And I think we shall have to remind ourselves that this will be framed into the global focus, and Katarina is going to talk about on Friday about the global environment that it has been set in 2015 for the sustainable development goals, and how we might want just to reach to those aspects of social, environmental, political, community, economic and various other challenging dimensions which may be resonated both in participatory actions, but also in actions how to raise performance in learning. So I think we have just tried to make an integrative program to respond to some recent challenges and constraints on the lives of learners. And we as representing higher education just try to emphasize how we've tried to build bridges with various stakeholders. And I think it also will be resonated through learning community developments, how to build bridges with the world of work, but also how to insist on our social commitment and responsibilities to stand for the equal opportunities for underrepresented groups who want to collect and share with universities for a number of reasons. And I think this is also the time that we thank UCAN office for its organizational efforts, because I think our Barcelona office has done a lot to improve the program, to get in good communication with partners, not just CEU, but also universities involved in the program. But we also try to emphasize here that our members are given a good stand and opportunity to collect and share, but also to share project-based, experience-based positions of theirs. So I think it is very much important that we address the conference and its function, that it works for our members and potential members that we try to involve. So I would like to give the floor to people participating in this particular event today. If there are questions and or comments to this presentation on our next year's 52nd conference to be hosted by Central European University in Budapest, Hungary. Thank you. So let us open the floor to a wider dialogue. And I think it is good that we are here with a wider environment. Thank you very much that you have joined us. If there are questions and comments, we are more than ready to respond. Thank you.
Before we have the first comment or question, just two things that I would like to emphasize. One is that together with EUcen office in Barcelona and with Balázs, we are working on launching the call for applications. So it has not been officially launched yet. We have almost finalized the text. We first wanted to make sure that there is enough information on the web page, so that when we launch the call, then the preliminary program is already up there, and also the possibility to immediately register and pay for the participation. So we are doing our best and intensifying our dialogue, so that before Christmas we will be definitely able to launch the call for applications. And the other thing I wanted to mention is that there are already several face-to-face events going on at Central European University in Budapest. As you know, Hungary is doing quite well in terms of the percentage of population that is vaccinated. We don't have very serious restrictions right now, unlike, for instance, Austria and particularly Vienna, where it is almost impossible to get in if you are a foreigner, or you have to pay a very a high price and test yourself every second day. We don't have such kind of restrictions for the moment in Budapest. Nevertheless, I would say that CEU probably is one of the safest places in the whole country, because being a multi-campus university, we don't want to be different from the regulations in Vienna. And since the regulations are much stricter in Vienna, we keep those rules and restrictions in our campus, and this is going to be the same in the summer. So regardless of the situation in Hungary, we will be very, very cautious, and we will follow the stricter rules. Whether the stricter rules are in Hungary or in Austria depends, but we always follow the stricter rules. And to give you an example, I had a quite large event a couple of weeks ago at CEU, and all our rooms are operating only with half capacity. So even within the rooms, we are keeping the social distance. And for instance, the catered lunch came in sealed boxes, and so every single participant was the first one to open the sealed box. It was a kind of a small cold tapas that we served, again, to make sure that people don't have contacts while consuming their coffees and their lunches. So this is just to assure you that if hopefully we will manage to have it face to face, then the highest standards will be applied for safety and for health security.
Thank you very much, Matyas. I was just wondering whether Karma would like to make an input at this point, because I think this is also very much important that our executive director has been very highly involved in the planning and the developments of the program. Karma, would you like to add something that we might have missed?
Hello, everybody. No, I don't think there is a lot more to say, only that we are working now very fast on the call for contributions. We have a scientific committee already in place and committed to work on that item, and we hope that there are quite a few people interested to submit some works, because if we manage to gather a decent number of good manuscripts, then we will be able to also publish the manuscripts into a journal. As you know, that UCAN now is managing the European Journal of University Lifelong Learning, and it's an opportunity for academics, probably because it's a journal which has an ISSN number and also a DOI. So it's well prepared for academics to mention it in their lists of publications. And I can confirm that the Central European University has a wonderful buildings, wonderful installations, and the city is absolutely fantastic, and we want to do this conference there because we trust totally they do a great job, and we are so much looking forward to meet all of you again face to face, that we hope we can make it in 2022. So that's all my comments for the time being.
Thank you very much, Karma. And I just thank you, Christina, for your agreement on this, which just been mentioned. Are there any questions or comments either to the program? Clara Engels-Perini would like to make a comment. Clara, please.
Yes, thank you very much for.
You just don't hear. Yeah, okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
sorry, I pushed the button, but not
no problem.
well enough. Sorry. Yes, thank you very much for including me in today's event. And I was trying to follow some of your webinars during the last few weeks. Some of you might not know me. I'm a policy officer in the in DG employment of the European Commission. Previously, I was working in DG EAC on higher education, and I just wanted to have a comment and a question. Related to the Central European University, that will be the question, but I will start with a comment that I think the agenda setting is very relevant. It covers a lot of topics which are high on the agenda, also at the level of discussions with the involvement of the European Commission. And next week, if everything goes well, on the 8th of December, we will publish 2 council recommendations which will be of interest for you. One on individual learning accounts and one on micro-credentials. And sometime early next year, there will be also an EU higher education strategy, and also a council recommendation on better cooperation, transnational cooperation of universities. So this is just an example of probably even more policy initiatives coming from our side, and also there will be a council recommendation on education for environmental sustainability. And I saw that many of these topics are, or actually all of these topics are basically covered by your event next year. And my question to Matyas would be, I heard about a program at the Central European University which is called the Socrates program, and I was wondering whether you are planning to cover that as well, and the experience you have made with that within the conference. I think that would be also very interesting, and whether you could share with us some words about how you think this program is working and what it is for those who might not know it. I don't know if you are closely involved in that, but I saw some press and Facebook information about this program, and it looks really interesting. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Clara. I noted it down, your question. Unfortunately, I'm not very much familiar with the program. I'm not involved. I was not involved in the Socrates program. Of course, I know about it, but not much. I am supposed to actually be located in Vienna, but due to the COVID, I am in my very small studio here in Budapest, and trying to manage all the work that I'm required to do for the Elkana Center, Yehuda Elkana Center for Higher Education. So I have to disappoint you that I cannot tell you much about it, but I mean, I think it's a very good idea to include people and also the program in some way into next year conference. And you mentioned the sustainability and sustainable higher education and the ESGDs, and just as an interesting thing, one of the PhD students who is doing her doctorate on higher education is writing exactly about the sustainability issue of universities, and definitely she will also be involved in our conference. And it's nice seeing you again, Clara, because I think recently we met on screen. Thank you.
I also hope that we can have the Commission be represented at the conference with a greeting, because that would be, again, very much important for us to have you on board. Just this is not just simply a formality, but I think it is also very important that we have some overarching topics where different sectors of education must work together in order to raise skills levels and also to emphasize different types of learning with different experiences to be shared for better qualities. But at the same time, I think it is another matter that we just try to orientate partnership developments. Is also in the theme of our conference, how we can develop partnerships beyond education. And I think this is another priority we have, how to learn that we have a certain specific societal role. This is very much claimed on the Western societies and Europe from other parts of the world, that we just don't keep lifelong learning as an individualized track only, but also to highlight the importance of community development, inclusion, and some other fairly important elements, like just Clara, you mentioned sustainability issues from different focuses. So thank you for the question and also for the comment. Any other comment or question or reflection on either the topics, the focus, or what we've just should reflect to? And this is, by the way, an honor for us that we have here Susan from Florida, who has been really engaged participant in our Open Fora activities, and we are very proud of your being with us on board. So thank you very much, Susan, for your engagement and involvement in the dialogue around universities and lifelong learning.
Thank you very much for those kind words. I mean, I tell you, this has been a great month, and I missed last week just because it was our Thanksgiving, so I went away to see my daughter, but I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and I've marked on my calendar the conference next year, and you know, if I could go, I would absolutely love to go. So I've already marked the dates, and I'll look very seriously at it. It sounds fantastic.
Thank you so much. You know, we have a little piece of intention here, because we know that last year and in the previous couple of months, it was not just us who have fallen with conference making, but also there is a big university forum for human resource development, UFHRD, and they wanted to come to Budapest last year. And now many of them, they look to the opportunity to get back to Central Europe and to open a dialogue on the topic of what universities can do right now to develop human resources, better formulated, better formed, better shaped, again in partnership with labor organizations. So this is something very much interesting, but also we have this recent trend in learning cities, learning regions. So it is another type of honor for us to have UNESCO on board, and it's Lifelong Learning Institute from Hamburg. We try to address a number of things. We will have awesome lifelong learning on board with Seamus Atuma to represent the Irish leadership of this very interesting platform in between Asia and Europe. And I think, again, we can just integrate a number of challenging aspects to be discussed. And Carmen is right, we have this newly formulated journal, an academic journal on university lifelong learning. And we would like to provide this opportunity for those people who would like to elaborate more and with details on the topics to have their inputs be published in this journal. So this will be a complexity of actions for next year. All right, and I'd like to ask again if there are comments and questions on the topic again, or any aspects of this event. And thank you very much again, Susan, for the comment you just put into the chat. Thank you indeed. We can close.
Yeah, I'm not sure how realistic that could be to bring all the students there, but you know, I will be sort of in the area over in London at that time. So even any of my UK colleagues or anybody who's in London, if there was any way we could even meet and have a discussion. Yeah. So just putting it there, just in case, you never know.
Oh yeah, Maria Chase planning to do the same from George Washington University and to bring some doctoral students of hers, master students as well. And I have to report that ASIM Lifelong Learning Research Network on Learning Cities will also have a meeting in Budapest for that timing, because we would like to have people from Asia to visit us and to collect and share. Thank you very much, and I would like to give the floor back to Karma.
I only wanted to mention, Susan, and whoever is listening, that this time for the 2022 conference, we are offering a special opportunities for students. So if you bring your students, the registration is going to be really very cheap. It's only going to be 1 day registration where they have the coffee break and the lunch, and it's going to be only 50 euros or something like that. So that would be a good opportunity for them to join a formal conference in Central Europe and to meet other students, maybe an opportunity. So you could actually be our champion, Susan.
and yes, I think, Karma, you are right that we just try to open up to practitioners as well, to those people who work in any of these fields being represented. They can also meet people from higher education. And this is something very much important, that we just try to understand, recognize lifelong learning is something more open, not just dedicated to academic environments, but people who learn with others and not just provide education. So thank you very much indeed for your attention, your participation. Thank you, Matyas, on behalf of CEU, to have been working with us in the preparatory phase of this event for next year. And I would like to thank you each and all who have participated in the Open Fora, people who provided the background work on behalf of the office. Let us thank the whole team in Barcelona for organizing the whole monthly event. And I would like to thank for all the presenters, the hosts and coordinators of each week. It was an honor to work on different topics selected for this month and this year. I hope we can continue for next year, and let us meet in some New Year's programs if you can. And when saying goodbye, I would like to wish you a nice Christmas time, preparations to really to celebrate that we are together in friendship. And I wish you every good with your families, with people who you love and who love you. Take good care, and let us meet soon. Thank you very much for your attention and all for your inspiring thoughts. And thank you very much for today and for the whole year. Thank you indeed.
Thank you all, and we are looking forward to seeing you, as we say, see you at the CEU in Budapest.
Right, thank you very much again, and thank you for your participation. Bye-bye for now.